Hey, hello. All right, this class is going to focus on your hamstrings and your glutes. So, like always, starting on your back body. So get comfortable. Legs can be bent or legs can be straight. Really find what feels best for your spine. And just start by noticing where your thoughts are. Wherever you're kind of coming from, start to just give yourself that permission to land here. And give yourself permission to focus on finding a bit more ease in your body, and in return, ease in your mind. And try to do that by linking your breath and connecting your mind to your body. So can you intentionally pull your inhale in through your nose so you feel your abdomen, your belly rise, your low ribs broaden. And without forcing or rushing, can you find the very bottom end of your exhale? And sometimes it helps to have the connection of your hands, so you can always place your right hand on your low belly, left hand on your low ribs. And like a wave in the ocean, start to feel the similar movement. Your inhale, like that wave is peaking, it's reaching the very top, its highest point. And as you exhale, it's slowly coming back down, crashing into the shore. And each breath, just a fluid rise and a fluid fall. Notice if the breath gets stuck in the upper portions of the chest or the collarbones or neck. You consciously try to stay relaxed in those areas, really getting the diaphragm to do the work here. Take a few more rounds. Not only breathing into the front body, by feeling your breath move into the sides and back body. And let this breath really guide you through your movement today. And so if your legs are straight, go ahead and just bend your knees. Feet are about hip-width distance apart. Okay, so from here, bring your elbows to the mat. Elbows bent, arms bent, fingers point to the ceiling, so you have these little robot arms. All right, waking up the back body first and just really noticing the curvature of your spine. So as you inhale, can you exaggerate this arch of the low back, pressing your tailbone down, feeling your low back lift? And as you exhale, can you press your low back down into the mat, tucking the tailbone? And just move between those exaggerations. Inhale, low back lifts, exaggerating the extension of the lumbar spine. Exhale, low back presses, exaggerating the flexion of the lumbar spine. And you take one more. Inhale, coming into that extension. Exhale, flexing the spine. And this time, pause on flexion. Press equally into both feet as you start to lift your hips up into a bridge. So don't worry about tucking the shoulders under too much. You feel supported through the upper body. Keep pressing down into the backs of your arms. Can you take an inhale here? As you exhale, can you find a bit more of that core? Imagine your frontal hip points are drawing together. Imagine your pubic bone and low ribs are drawing together. Now holding, where is the weight in your feet? Has it shifted to the outer edges? Can you root down through the big toe mound a little bit more? As if you were toeing off running, really pressing through that ball of the big toe mound. Where do you feel the work happening? If it's in the low back, can you press down a little bit more through the feet and find a little bit more of the core? Take one more breath in. As you lower, bring your hips just to a hover. And then as you inhale, bring your hips back up. Lower with the exhale today. Lift with the inhale. One more, lower as you exhale. Lift with your inhale and pause. Draw your weight into your right foot. Keep equal weight, all four corners, really drawing that big toe mound down. Bring your left leg in towards your chest without letting the hips drop. Hold or extend your left leg up towards the ceiling or out away from you so the thighs are in line with one another. Take one more breath. I really feel this from my workout yesterday. And then place your left foot down. Shift your weight into your left foot. So notice as you roll to that outer edge. Keep drawing that big toe mound down. Bring your right thigh in towards your chest. Did your hips drop? Can you re-lift them by driving the left foot down? Extend your left heel up towards the ceiling or reaching out away from you so the thighs are in line with one another. This will be the most load. Keep pressing down through the backs of the arms, driving the left foot down. Find your breath. Last one. Right foot down. Root through both feet. Lift your hips one last time. And then one vertebrae at a time. Lower down. Like your spine's a slinky. Good. Let your low back land. Hug your legs in towards your chest. Grab onto the backs of your legs. Tuck your chin around your spine. Give yourself a little rock up so you're on your hands and your knees. All right, so from tabletop here, you're going to bring your right leg forward, hands onto your hips. Okay. Take a moment, anteriorly tilt the pelvis, really exaggerate that movement. As you exhale, posteriorly tilt the pelvis, find that movement. Do that one more time and see if you can just kind of start to find neutral through the spine. So in between those two. Back of the head in line with the back of your sacrum. You take a full breath in. As you breathe out, hands can stay on your hips. Lift your back knee. Start to lean your weight forward. Arms reach back, runner's lunge. Think of dragging your feet together. Almost like you're doing a hamstring curl through the front leg. So imagine you're dragging your right heel towards your right sit bone. Can you feel the hamstring contract and light up a little bit more? Now from here, shift your weight forward. Stand tall, left leg to 90, arms on your hips. Full breath in, drive the ball of your right foot down just like you did in your bridge pose. As you breathe out, hinge over your right leg. Left leg can extend back any amount. So can you keep your hips pretty square to the floor as we move through these ranges of motion or hip hinges? Inhale, left knee up to 90. Exhale, hinge. I don't care how quickly you go. Focus on these two key things. Pelvis staying square, so facing forward. Ball of the right big toe mound driving down. So replicating a little bit of that gate drive phase. You take one more round. It's good if you feel lots of work around the glute. A little bit of that eccentric load into the hamstring. Okay, land your left foot down. Arms to your sides. Full breath in. Ground with your breath out. Reach your arms up. Inhale. Slow, slow, slow. Start to hinge over your legs. So can you kind of resist your forward fold as you hinge? Halfway lift. Press into your shins. Reach your collarbones and your head forward. Step your left foot back, so you can either grab blocks or something you have at home to support your hands here. So left foot steps to the back of your mat. We'll just move with breath for a moment. Tap your left knee down, look up any amount. As you exhale, lift your back knee, straighten your front leg, and take a little fold. Option to lift the balls of your front foot up, so you're just on your right heel. With breath, inhale, lunge it forward. Exhale, hips back as you fold. One more like that. Inhale to lunge forward. Exhale, hinge back, and this time pause. Blocks support you, so walk your hands back a little bit. Lift the ball of your front foot so you're just on your right heel. Swivel your hips towards your left so you watch your toes point over to your right. You'll feel that more lateral hamstring. And then swivel your hips over to the right so you watch your toes come towards the midline, feeling the medial part of the hamstring. Take a couple more of what I call hamstring flossing. Nothing right or wrong, you're just exploring the tension through these different muscle fibers. All right, walk your hands back forward. Nothing fancy here. Ditch your blocks, plant your hands. Step back to plank. Lower your knees. Take an inhale through cow, lifting your sit bones, lifting your gaze. Exhale, round it out through cat. Come back through neutral. Step your left foot forward. Okay, important to work on finding a neutral spine as any athlete. So anteriorly tilt the pelvis forward. We tend to be quite locked in this position. Okay, exhale, tuck the tailbone, really try to posteriorly tilt. Okay, so just working, you'll feel the back arch, the back flex. Okay, too much shouldn't be happening through the upper body, just really focusing on that pelvic area. Okay, so try to find neutral. You have that natural lumbar curve, natural cervical curve. Hands can stay to the hips, back toes tuck. Can you keep the pelvis neutral? So resist the temptation to lean forward as you do this. Stay neutral, lift the back leg. Now start to hinge forward over the left leg. Arms can reach back into a runner's lunge. You get into the hamstring here by imagining you're curling your left heel towards your left sit bone. So this isometric contraction, still building strength that way. Now lean forward even more. Hands can come to your hips. Start to drive your left foot down. Bring your right knee up to 90. Stand tall. Press through the ball of your left big toe. Inhale. As you exhale, hinge over your left leg. Extend your right leg back any amount. So watch for that right hip lifting and opening. Keep the hips square just like the left side. Inhale. Right knee comes back up. Exhale, hinge, resisting your hinging movement. Okay, drive the foot down, use your left glute, bring yourself back up. One more time, hinge. Great, and use the glute, drive the left foot down, stand tall, right foot meets the mat. This time arms can reach up. Inhale, look up. Fold over your legs as you exhale. Halfway lift as you breathe in, press into your knees or shins. Step back to plank as you breathe out. Hold plank, take a full inhale. Lower your knees, tabletop as you exhale. From this tabletop position, bring your right hand, bring your left hand to the center of the mat. Left knee to the center of the mat. Step your right foot back. So you're going to be facing the right side of your room. And then you just want somewhat your shoulder over your left wrist, somewhat your left hip over your left knee. So just make sure you're set. Okay, and then your body's stacked. Right arm can reach up. Right leg's going to reach up. Okay, hold this. So today, can you really think of starting to turn your right toes up towards the ceiling? A bit of external rotation in the glutes. Core engaged. Are you really back bending? Okay, good to check in. Think of those low ribs and pubic bone coming towards one another. So as best as you can, you have somewhat neutral curves, or at least that feeling of neutral curves through the spine. Little pulses for 5 with the top leg. 3, 2, 1. Lower your right foot down. Come up so you're standing on your left knee and your right foot. All right, now from here, you're going to start to shift your butt back. Let that right leg slide out. Hands can be to the mat. Maybe your head goes into a table at home. Just feel a nice stretch through the inner right thigh. And just enjoy that stretch through the adductors. A little bit of the medial hamstring. Last stretch, or last breath in this stretch. Okay, and then you can just start to walk your hands back to the top of your mat. Find tabletop position, nothing fancy. Switch, right hand, right shin to the middle of the mat, left foot steps back. So that right shin can hover any amount you need. Okay, stack through the shoulder, through the hip. Left arm can reach up, left leg's gonna reach up. Okay, so try to avoid that back bending position. Core's turned on. Okay, maybe the left leg stays in line with the left hip. Start to try to turn your toes towards the ceiling a little bit more. So you're just getting into a little bit more of those external rotators, really targeting the glutes. Maintain your breath here. Can you really get into the stabilizers by just really trying to be light to the right hand? And notice maybe that right leg starts to work a bit more. Let's just take a few more breaths here. Sometimes these longer holds are the hardest. Last one. Little pulses here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower the left foot down. Come on up. Gate pose. We're going to take it into adductor stretch. So hands can land to the floor in front of you. Slide your left leg out. Okay. Little good old hockey stretch here through the inner right left thigh. The more you reach your butt back and your chest forward and press your left foot down, the more you might feel, but you never have to force anything deep in stretches. Like I mentioned, your nervous system really controls the tension in your muscles. So when you force too fast, the reverse happens. You actually tense up, you tighten up more. So just take a gentle approach to your stretching. Start to walk your hands back through center into tabletop as you fall over. Okay. And from here, take one more cat-cow. So inhale, lift your sit bones, lift your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your tailbone. Find neutral as you inhale. Tip over onto your back. Lay down. And then you're going to grab your strap, okay, or a belt, a scarf, whatever you have. So take that, loop it around the ball of your right foot, and extend your right heel up towards the ceiling. We're just going to get into the lateral part of the leg a little bit more here. So start to draw your leg over towards your left, just enough so that you feel the stretch start to transition more into what maybe feels like IT band, outer hip. Sometimes you don't have to go far. Can you really think of drawing your right hip crease away from your right armpit and anchoring the back of the hip down into the floor as your foot presses up into the strap? Opposing forces. Couple more breath. And if you're sweating, back out a little bit. You shouldn't be super shaky. And come back through center. You're just going to switch. Shoot that left foot up into the strap. Right foot can land. If you want, you can straighten the right leg, but the focus stays into the back of the left leg. So when you're ready, start to draw your left leg over towards your right. You make those little steering adjustments as you go. Left hip away from your left armpit. Foot presses up into the strap as the left hip roots down into the mat. Should be able to feel that right away. Is there any tension? You can let go through the upper body. Maybe you start to close your eyes and chill out a little bit. Draw your leg back up through center. Ditch your strap. Take your knees in towards your chest. Give a little squeeze. If you want to take a happy baby, you can grab the pinky sides of your feet. You're bringing your ankles over your knees. If you're like, that's laughable, then just hug your knees in wide towards your armpits. A little rocking side to side might feel good. And then go ahead, extend your legs out into Shavasana. So this moment of pause between now and the rest of your day. And instead of ruminating, thinking of what's to come, lists, take a deep breath in. And give a sigh out. What kind of mindset shift do you need to go into to feel really grounded, rooted, at ease in the rest of your day? You choose your thoughts, you choose your actions. And feel like you can stay resting on your mat for as long as you need to. Good job on dedicating this time for yourself, for your nervous system, for a little bit of recovery in your body. Namaste.